Welcome to Wrestle Capsule. I'm your host, B. Today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw and Night 2 of WWE Draft. So let's get into it. Round 1 of the draft. So, Raw picks Rhea Ripley. Surprise, surprise. SmackDown picked Austin Theory. This is another one where I was not surprised about it because on Night 1 we found out that Imperium got to go to Raw and Gunther has the Intercontinental Championship, so it makes sense for Austin Theory to go to SmackDown with the United States Championship, right? Raw picks Seth freaking Rollins, so he's staying on the red brand, and we're going to talk about Seth a little bit when we get into what happened in the ring on Raw. SmackDown picks Charlotte Flair. Not surprised. Charlotte Flair lives on SmackDown. Charlotte is the only 4 horsewoman that has not had a bout with Bianca Belair. And I've mentioned this, I think it was in my Extreme Rules review video where I was talking about the significance of the 4 horsewomen and how Bianca Belair has been built up into this champion. She's had a feud with Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch, multiple times with Becky Lynch. Only person left is Charlotte Flair. What rubbed me the wrong way was when Paul Heyman said, wouldn't that title look relevant around the waist of your tribal chief Roman Reigns? No. Let me just answer that for you. No, the belt was made in the first place is because your tribal chief is hogging the WWE Universal Championship first. So no, leave it. No, that's not for you. Seth freaking Rollins comes out and he's talking his ish. And he's talking about how Roman doesn't have to run away from Seth anymore, and how Paul Heyman doesn't have to go backstage and try to make sure that Seth Rollins doesn't get another title shot from him. All this stuff. Seth was ready to bust a cap. So Sikoa came out. Paul stopped him because we were going to get a main event of Solo Sikoa versus Seth freaking Rollins. He's just like, hold on. Let's get into round 2. Raw picks are undisputed tag team champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So they're going to the red brand. Not surprised, Raw needs it. SmackDown picks the Usos. I feel like I would have laughed even harder if they would have gotten drafted to Raw, but I had a feeling that wasn't going to happen. Roman Reigns was going to make sure his Usos were going to be on the same brand as he was, despite the fact that the Usos are in the doghouse right now with the tribal chief. But I mean, hey, they finally got drafted. I was talking about this on my other video. I'm like, wait, they weren't mentioned in any of the 4 rounds on Friday Night SmackDown. So for them to get drafted in round 2, I'm like, okay, all right, y'all lucky, y'all count the stars and your blessings. Or maybe Roman is setting it up to freak him up. I don't know. Sinister thoughts are running through my mind right now because Roman has been missing. Roman has been behind the scenes pulling the strings, having Paul Heyman do this, that, and the third, having Solo Sikoa stay back with Jimmy and Matt Riddle's match. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Raw chooses Judgment Day. Not surprised, especially since Rhea Ripley is going to be switching belts and she is going to be on Raw as well. SmackDown chooses the LWO. Are y'all as shocked as I am that Bayley and Dakota Kai won a match? When is the last time Damage Control has won a match? I'm shooketh. So they had a tag team match against our current women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I'm thoroughly shooketh. Bayley was able to deliver a blind tag to Dakota Kai, and Liv had no idea. And then when Liv did the Oblivion, Bayley was able to get her up in a sunset flip and then pin her for the 1, 2, 3. Well, hey, they're trying to revamp this whole group. They're trying to make them look more of a, threat. This just confirmed everything that I was saying in my Night 1 draft video. Even though this match was very random, and I've said this before, bears repeating, Raw is known to have random matches. I mean, SmackDown will have its fair share of random matches. Alpha Academy versus Ricochet and Braun Strowman was no exception. It was still a fun match to be had. All 4 of these men are super talented. And I am up to here. Like, you can't even see my hand anymore. I'm up to here of seeing Alpha Academy get got in these matches, them losing. Like, it's just done. I'm a broken record at this point. Braun Strowman and Ricochet are looking more and more like a solidified tag team. I feel like the reason why Alpha Academy, I'm trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The reason why that this makes sense that Alpha Academy lost is because I feel like there is an inevitable splitting. WWE is building this up, especially with Maxine Dupree being out there for OTs. I'm sure Maxine Dupree is going to blame Chad Gable for this L, which is going to perpetuate this even more, like, suspense of, is Alpha Academy going to depart? Who is Otis going to pick? So with this whole segment with Cody Rhodes coming out and Cody wanting to bust a cap and Brock Lesnar and all the security coming out again and Adam Pearce trying to stop Cody, like, it just seemed like a rinse and repeat type thing that we saw a couple of weeks ago where Cody Rhodes was fighting off the security. So, I mean, even though I understand why they're doing it, they're trying to keep these two away from each other, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, before Backlash, trying to get the crowd excited about this match on Saturday. Like, could this have been done slightly different so it wouldn't have been the same thing of Cody being held back, but and there was a lot of security. The only good thing was there was some sort of contact. Brock Lesnar was freaking bleeding on his nose, I think. So, I mean, Cody was able to get a pop. Round 3 of the draft. So Raw picks our current women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I can understand why, because I feel like on SmackDown, they're already building the tag team division, the women's tag team division. That is where you got Alba Fire and you got Isla Dawn on there. You got Damage Control over there, and that's just to name a few. They're gonna get tag teams on Raw, but we're gonna get into that because there was some stuff. There was some additional drafts that happened on Raw Talk that we need to discuss. SmackDown chooses Asuka, same brand as Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair. So, very, very, very intriguing. When is she coming back? When is my girl coming back? I know she's taking a break, she's taking a breather. She's been through a lot of stuff. She had a huge L at WrestleMania, so I know she needed to take some time off to think. But I need to know when my girl's coming back and what is WWE going to do with her? All the stuff that Triple H was doing with her, I was liking. The build-up was for what? For what? What was it for? Raw picks the New Day. And it was funny because Xavier Woods was pandering to Vince McMahon. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet, but it was so freaking funny, showing screenshots of his conversation with Vince McMahon on Twitter, and it was hilarious. You guys, I'm gonna put it up here. You guys check it out. It is hilarious. So he was able to get it so New Day would be on Raw because, you know, Xavier was really wanted to be on Raw, and it makes sense because who else is on Raw? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. SmackDown chooses Brawling Brutes. So they're evenly trying to distribute the tag teams, both in the men and the women's division. I'm seeing, especially with night 2, which I am happy about because it was definitely looking one-sided at times, especially before the draft. There were a lot of tag teams, men tag teams, on the SmackDown brand compared to Raw. Jimmy losing to Matt Riddle. How do I even get my freaking words together? Like, the Usos are not, they're not being successful. They're not. And it's just adding, I just know it's adding more fuel to the fire for Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. I bet you he's getting sick and tired of Jimmy and Jay losing. Paul Heyman is not for the Usos. He is working against them in a way. Like I said earlier in this video, Sikoa not being out there to support them. I see it and it is dirty. I have to say, the sneakiness of Sammy and Kevin, especially Sammy, Eddie Guerrero type situation. And Jey Uso got booted out of the arena. That was the beginning of the end. The plot thickens with the whole bloodline storyline. Round number 4 of the WWE Draft Night 2. Raw picks Trish Stratus. Not surprised because Becky Lynch got drafted to Raw as well, night 1. So they're gonna continue this feud between these two. I cannot wait for what else Trish Stratus has to say, what other promos is gonna be birthed from this, when Becky Lynch comes back, what she's gonna have to say. Karrion Kross is drafted to SmackDown, so he's gonna stay on SmackDown. All right. I was a little surprised considering this whole thing with Shinsuke Nakamura situation that WWE was putting together. Let's not forget that Shinsuke Nakamura was drafted to Raw. So since that's the case, I'm assuming that this is all going to be taken care of on SmackDown. Karrion Kross versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, it makes sense if y'all gonna be splitting these dudes up and this is not gonna be a thing. Make it make sense, y'all. Raw picks Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Now we have another tag team because now they're a unit. They are a unit. Shonda is a unit. So they're gonna be on the Raw brand. So they're trying to, like I said before, they're trying to even it out with the women's tag teams. Shonda being drafted to Raw. Who else is on Raw? Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are champions, are tag team champions. Writing's on the wall, y'all. Writing's on the wall. I say this now. Shonda is going to get them dang belts. I don't want to see either of those women, especially Ronda. No! SmackDown drafts LA Knight. SmackDown suits LA Knight. Didn't really want him to go to Monday Night Raw because I really don't care about Monday Night Raw. This Miz TV with Shinsuke Nakamura segment was not the business. I did not like it. And considering that Shinsuke has been drafted to Raw from SmackDown, like, is this what we're gonna be seeing? He comes back, SmackDown. We're so excited. We're thinking, ooh, him and Karrion Kross, they're gonna have this thing going on. It's gonna be stretched out. Like, this is gonna be serious. Like, I'm looking forward to it. Like, Karrion Kross and Scarlett gonna try to take Shinsuke Nakamura's honor. Like, I'm here for it. And then Shinsuke Nakamura goes on Miz TV. And Shinsuke Nakamura says that The Miz has tiny balls in Japanese. And then the crowd yells, tiny balls, because they can't pronounce it in Japanese. I get this, the purpose of this was to have Shinsuke on the red brand since he's been drafted there. But to introduce him to Raw with The Miz, y'all would have been better off just leaving that man on SmackDown. This was ugly. Shinsuke is better than this. Omos has another squash match. And apparently he's a free agent. What was the takeaway of this match? Other than, you know, Omos is on a squash match type thing right now. Okay, nothing special. Is this supposed to get us excited about Omos versus Seth freaking Rollins at Backlash? Because it's not getting me thrilled about it. Omos having a match with Seth freaking Rollins is going to make Omos look more relevant because of who Seth Rollins is and how he is perceived to the WWE universe. He is so popular right now. It's not even funny. Everyone is singing his entrance music. Like, everyone is for this man's every word. So for Omos, I see what WWE is trying to do. I see they're trying to put him, make him rub shoulders. First you have him going against Brock Lesnar, and then you have him going against Seth. So I peep it, but is it really going to work? Round 5 of the draft. Raw picks Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Shotzi is going to be on SmackDown. Okay. Interesting. So I guess the whole ballsy baddies thing is not going to be going on anymore, because last time I checked, Natalya was going to be drafted to Raw. So Shotzi's going to be on her own. What are they going to do with Shotzi? Raw chose Bronson Reed. So gonna be close to the new championship, I see. And SmackDown chose Pretty Deadly, former NXT Tag Team Champions. Oh my gosh. Add some spice to SmackDown. SmackDown is looking superior once again. The crowd held up Dominic every time this man would talk. They would boo. They were so loud. And the more he would talk, the louder they would get. It was so funny. They cannot stand this man. It is so... They would literally boo Dominic into silence every time he would try to talk. Mixed tag team match. We get the LWO versus Judgment Day. Both of these stables could have benefited from winning, considering the LWO refreshed from the Legado del Fantasma. WWE is all for Judgment Day right now, and it makes sense. You have our SmackDown Women's Champion turn into a Raw after Backlash, Rhea Ripley, and then you have Damian Priest, who's going to be having a street fight match against Bad Bunny at Backlash. So, I mean, I get it. And I also get that Finn Balor interfered and he made it possible for the Judgment Day to get the W. It doesn't make LWO look soft, also makes Judgment Day look even more of a heel stable than it already is. But I would love to see the LWO win more matches. Round 6 of the draft. Raw picked Alpha Academy. They're together, they're not separated yet, but I'm waiting for it. SmackDown drafted Rick Boogs. The last 2 were NXT picks, okay? I know Shawn Michaels is just squirming right now. I know he is going through it. More and more poaching from Vince out of the golden cup that is NXT. Raw chose Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, former women tag team champions in NXT. They're going to Raw. So is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. SmackDown chose Cameron Grimes. NXT Cameron Grimes. I need a moment. Oh my gosh. Like I said, SmackDown is getting lit. Like I was saying, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter are going over to Raw, and you have our current women's tag team champions on the Raw brand as well. If you guys don't remember, when Alba Fire and Isla Dawn got called up to SmackDown, on SmackDown, Kaden and Katana were like, oh, you leaving? We want a match for them belts on NXT. Whoever wins that match, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire retain. They're going to be coming to the main roster. Is there a unification about to happen? Is that? Are they going to unify the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships and the main roster Women's Tag Team Championships to make one? I wouldn't be mad about it. But at the same time, we're getting more and more women's tag teams up on the main rosters amongst SmackDown and Raw. So I don't know if this is a good move or not. I don't know what they're going to do, but it poses a couple of questions. Now, the main event, Seth freaking Rollins versus Solo Sikoa. Now, I've been seeing some stuff on Twitter. Some people were just like, I hate the way this match ended. I kind of like it. Seth freaking Rollins was able to get the W because of a disqualification. Why was Solo Sikoa disqualified? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, decided to mind their business once again and interfere and start freaking up Seth freaking Rollins in the ring. But then next thing you know, who comes out? Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle come out. You have this brawl of these men just going at it, just freaking each other up, and this is how Raw ends. Like, the whole thing with the Solo Sikoa versus Seth freaking Rollins, the only reason why I see that this match was booked, Solo Sikoa is in a Backlash match, and to have him involved in something and then have his enemies, his opponents, that are gonna be in the Backlash match come out and freak up stuff. Like, it just adds more drama. We need to talk about the additional drafts that happened after Monday Night Raw on Raw Talk. And I'm just gonna go through this list. Raw drafted Nikki Cross. Okay, makes sense, she's already on there. Dana Brooke. Where has Dana been? Where has this woman been? Johnny Gargano, not surprised, gonna be there with Candice, with Dexter, with Indy, Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Akira Tozawa, Piper Niven, Xia Li. Xia Li, usually she's on SmackDown. Now she's being changed Raw. Okay, where's Xia Li at? Like, these people, where is Tegan Nox? Tegan Nox is also going to be drafted to Raw. Where are these women at? Are they taking breaks? Do they have anything for these women? Like, what's up with the wisdom? What is this draft going to do for them? Now, we've seen Piper Niven here and there. She's been having matches with Candice LeRae and Michin. Shoot, Nikki Cross for that matter. It's been a while since we've seen her. What are they going to do with them on Raw? I hope something. Emma's going to Raw too. Riddick Moss. He's not Madcap Moss anymore. Indus Sher and Jinder Mahal. Right now they're on NXT. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, our current undisputed tag team champions, are on Raw. I'm surprised, but I'm excited. And then for SmackDown, it was Tamina. She's going to the blue. And Grayson Waller, NXT's Grayson Waller. What sucks about that is I wanted him to at least get a belt while he was in NXT, but no, he's coming up to the blue brand, so he's gonna shake it up and get under people's skin now. He's gonna be on SmackDown. LA Knight is going to be on SmackDown. I would love for those two to get in it. Throw hands. That's going to be some good freaking stuff, y'all. I tell y'all, if they do it right. So guys, let me know what you thought about Monday Night Raw. And also let me know what you thought about Night 2 WWE Drafts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more episodes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Signing off. Bye.